So our first album we're reviewing is a pretty heavily requested one. It is Piñata by Freddie, Gibbs, and Madlib, released in 2014. This was recommended to me by User and Stephen D. Thanks. Personally, I've always seen this album as just a very good album, not necessarily one of the best of the decade like people seem to rate it. Don't get me wrong, I really like the album. It's very sleek. Freddie's demeanor is raw and villainous, and all the features are pretty great. I also really love Madlib. I think he's one of the best producers of all time, you know. There's just something about this album that doesn't really go above and beyond for me. While I like Freddie Gibbs, his flow and voice have been the same throughout this release, and it really has that same energy across the whole thing. Doesn't really change it up too much. It is still a pretty solid Jim album, though. It's being pretty menacing and hard across the album. I kind of like that. I just think some of the production, especially near the middle, clashes with Freddie's tone a bit. He can be a bit more of a drug-laced, hardcore street guy, and Madlib tends to lean on some more like 70s slow jam stuff and like James Bond-esque style loops. Now, these sounds are definitely interesting and cool together, but not the greatest fit for this album, in my opinion. And Madlib also samples some audio clips of other people sounding like gangsters and, you know, killing and shooting people, which feels like his way of meeting Freddie at his level. Still, the album is pretty great, and I understand why people like it so much. I really enjoyed it a lot. I just don't think it's, you know, one of the best of the best. Just a pretty decent album for me, but I still enjoyed it. I'm going to give it like a mid 7 out of 10.